I will fascinating Tibnet because I can't keep this to myself.
Tibnet? Did you just say?
Tibnet.
Okay.
All vampires, pretty much, mostly all of them, can shift into something.
Oh, do they have like a preferred form?
No, it's just they have one thing they can shapeshift into, and it's random. Like one thing.
Oh, I really want Elias to be dumb. Actually, no, I want Marks to be dumb. That'd be more entertaining. I want Marks to be like a chair. You never said it had to be living.
I didn't. Oh boy. Okay.
I want to learn about human psychics.
Let me think. Hold on. Let me pull up route guide to make sure I do not miss anything important for the beans thing.
And okay. I had like going into this, I had 2 routes that I knew for sure that I was excited about going for, and 1 route I really didn't want to go for. I'm wondering if you can tell which one is which. I'm sure you can tell which ones I wanted to go for. Apparently we've lost wolves. So in the meantime, I will be entertaining myself by crunching on my snack.
Hold on. I'm trying to find. Okay, there we go.
Is this the point in the game where you basically choose which route you're taking?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I want the beam.
He's like second to last of the list here. Alright.
I'm sorry, but I want the beam.
Okay, I think I found it. If not, I can always look up a video I know of that will help me decide. Alright. So, we're starting with
I don't know if you heard me before, but I was like, there's 2 routes that I definitely want to do and 1 route that I don't.
Which one?
Can you guess which one's which? No, I want to know if you... There's 6 guys.
Yeah.
Which one do you think I was like, maybe not?
The headless man?
No. No, I actually really wanted to do his route.
Corbin's?
Yeah.
This is surprisingly fun, but fair enough.
I can imagine he is. It's just like, I gotta say, he was the least interesting to me. I was kind of like, I kind of want to go back to the... Can I go back to that classroom? I want to go sit by Mark instead.
Alright, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all the 6 boys, you guessed 5 of them correctly on their supernaturalness.
My first go? Or now?
Like, just recently. You are wrong on 1 of them.
Okay. I don't even remember what I said, but okay.
Oh. Alright, so... we're doing the bean?
The beam!
Alright. By the way, don't quote me. This I'm pretty sure this is where it diverges paths. So,
Okay.
if it's not, we'll get there eventually. But anyways.
Wait, are we not past the prologue yet?
We just finished. This should be the option point. If not, I'm
So
sorry.
this is the end of the prologue.
Very much, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, actually, you know what? Let me kind of go. Just.
I gotta be real.
Just.
I did not think, like, psychic was, like, a separate... like, being.
Human psychics. Ready?
Like, I would have said psychics and, like, witches and wizards were all kind of, like, one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But... Fair enough. Fair enough, game.
Alright.
Oh, wait,
Sorry.
I was nomming.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm ready now.
Alright.
It was difficult to choose from such a random list. How can I know which one was relevant to me, or which one might be the most useful? I didn't think I was really ready to read about bridge occupant, yeah, whatever. Then again, that wasn't a selection on the list anyway. Yes, it was. They're fairies.
Well, she doesn't know
Oh,
they're
I gotta
fae.
tell you how I knew that. What?
She didn't know they were fae.
Yes, she did. Her friend basically said, hey, it's probably fae.
Well, no, her friend said Brenna deals with matters. Brenna deals with stuff because she's fae, but not because the thing is fae.
No, it said Brenna deals with matters that involve the fae.
No.
Because she is one. Yes. I'm right.
Anyways.
I ended up choosing to read about human psychics. Starting with something human was less alarming than some of the others.
I keep wanting to say physics whenever I see that word.
Me too, though! Though I was in a magic library picking out research materials on magic people to learn about myself and how to stay out of danger. That, in and of itself, was kind of alarming. Velos? I don't know why his name kind of throws me, but... Velos didn't seem surprised by my choice. He just nodded and let out a shrill whistle that echoed through the library. Was he gonna be surprised by any of the choices? No. What I expected was some sort of magic library minion to wander out from the stacks, but it was actually something a little less jarring. The book just floated out of the shelves right to us. That's less jarring? The book floating is less jarring than something like a physical being? Not sure if I agree with that one. I could hear it whistling through the air even before it came into view and zipped into Velos' waiting hand. Now that's sick. He immediately handed it to me. I took it gingerly, half expecting it to go flying off again. Thank you. Not at all. Allie looked at me curiously as she led me to a nearby table.
You okay?
Yeah, just a little, freaked out. I mean, not by this place, just sort of in general. And my arm hurts. Allie laughed gently and rubbed my back.
I've been there, believe me. Anyway, I need to go call the agency and get a team out there to look for whatever accosted you earlier. I'm going to send someone to sit in with you.
Yes! She cut me off before I could protest, so whichever one we choose is who she's sending.
Yes.
Okay.
I know you don't
I'm
need
so
a
excited.
babysitter, but I'd rather not leave you here alone.
Velos is here. Allie glanced back at the quiet man behind the desk.
Like I said, I'd rather not leave you here alone.
The shade. Fine. I'm not about to argue with someone who can probably turn me into a frog if I tick her off.
Please, if I wanted to do anything like that, you'd have relocated to the bog years ago.
She stuck her tongue out and quickly went back to the club room. I sighed and rubbed my eyes before pulling the book closer. I opened to the first page, staring down at the words blankly. After a moment, I leaned forward and started reading. Humans are one of the few races with no inherent magical abilities as a species. However, there are some humans who develop innate, non-magical abilities. These are what normal humans call psychic. I almost said physics. Psychics, or espers? Media has portrayed psychics in a vast array of phony fortune-telling and spoon-bending powers, but the reality is actually far different. The most common psychic ability is the ability to see the paranormal. Generally speaking, paranormal in this sense refers to spirits and ghosts! Oh my gosh, my headphones fell off! Wait, I can't hear anything?
You got so excited.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I leaned back and my headphones were not secure on my head. I was right though!
Yeah.
There are, however, psychics who have sight that goes far beyond the spirit realm. I guess that makes sense. It wasn't like the concept of psychics being able to see the dead people was new. Many psychics develop a variety of telekinetic or telepathic abilities. I got it!
Yeah.
But some never achieve anything more than a sensitivity to certain types of supernatural activity. Huh. So I guess all that stuff is real then. It shouldn't have come as a shock considering I was sitting in a magic library. I couldn't help but wonder just how large the paranormal community actually was. It seemed to be that keeping all of this secret from the rest of society must be a monumental task. I looked back at the text in front of me. Though psychics often have no talent for magic, some are able to learn to channel energy for the sake of repelling or vanquishing spirits and other paranormals. Cryptics that consume life force have described espers as being easy targets and very desirable prey. Consume life force? There are things that do that? I've just decided that I totally don't want to be a psychic, thank you very much. I slammed the book shut and pushed it away just as someone else walked up to me. I'm excited for him. Oh gosh. Startled, I look up to see William Lee, my reading partner from literature. I just stared at him dumbfounded. If he was here then... He was also a paranormal magic person. Whoa, did not see that coming at all. The moment our eyes meet, William froze a bit, like a deer in headlights. Oh, he's so cute!
Sorry. I didn't mean to startle you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You didn't really startle me. I just read something a bit freaky, that's all.
It's okay. If I sit? Allie sent me. There was no one else around.
Yeah, I'm sure there wasn't. Of course I don't... Okay, I need to rein it in. Of course I don't mind. It's nice to have company. William shuffled to the chairs and sat across from me. He looked at the cover of the book I was reading, seeming surprised.
What freaked you out in that book?
Oh, you know, the part about psychics falling prey to creatures that consume life force or whatever?
Yeah. It's important to be on your guard against that. There are a lot of unpleasant things lurking out there. Are you an Esper too, then?
I'm not really sure what my deal is yet. But two? That means you're a... What was it? Esper?
Yeah, but don't worry. Nothing that follows me around can really come in here.
Follows you? He looked at me seriously for a long time that... He looked at me seriously for a long time that I couldn't help but wonder if he was one of the psychics that developed mind-reading abilities. He lowered his eyes and ran a finger along the tabletop slowly.
It's not uncommon for strong espers to have a few things lurking around them.
Things?
They can't see much of the real world, so they're drawn to anything that can act like a light to them. Usually that means people like me. They attach themselves to us because we're the only thing they see clearly.
You're talking about ghosts, right? The way he said it all so casual, like it was just an everyday reality for him. Things attaching themselves to him or following him around. I couldn't help but wonder how long he'd been dealing with that.
Ghosts. It depends how you define a ghost.
Spirit of a dead person? Is there another way?
There are other ways. But if that's what you meant, then no. They're not all ghosts. Some were never human to begin with.
Then what are they? What do you call something that was never human? William shrugged and stared down at his hands. His unruly hair fell in his eyes. I couldn't tell if he was trying to work out how to explain it to someone who knew nothing about it, or if he just didn't want to talk about it. I was just about to tell him he didn't have to when he spoke up again.
Some things have always existed as spirits. Nature spirits, collections of old thoughts and memories, or other things. Like there's a belief that an object can develop a consciousness if it's very old or very well loved. If that happens, it can become a sort of ghost as well. They all have different names, but it's sometimes easier to just call them all ghosts or haunts.
It was strange that we were talking about something so unnerving, but listening to his quiet voice was helping me calm down a little. So things like that really just follow you around all the time? When he looked up at me, I was startled by the sadness in his eyes.
They're the reason why people stay away from me. I'm sorry for talking about this. It's probably all pretty frightening, isn't it?
I guess it's kind of scary to think that things are I guess it's kind of scary to think that there are beings I can't see. But I don't know why it would make people want to avoid you. I mean, you seem okay to me.
Just because they can't be seen doesn't mean they don't make themselves known. But not everything that follows me is friendly.
Isn't that a good reason you shouldn't be left alone?
I think others are more comfortable this way.
Did he hear me? Did he hear that? I stared at him, waiting to see if he would react to that thought, but he didn't seem to. Not openly, anyway. Maybe it was just a coincidence. Oh my gosh, can you read our thoughts? Goodness gracious, this is gonna end bad. Isn't that just harder to deal with by yourself, though?
Not really. Sometimes it's easier to deal with them when there's no one else around to see it.
I suppose I could somewhat understand that. If normal people could see things like fae or ghosts, then watching another person interact with them had to look pretty strange. Yep, well. Having to deal with invisible entities daily probably meant that things would get awkward fast, and if there were other humans around. I could only imagine what it was like having to constantly come up with excuses for talking to thin air.
It worries people when they see me acting strange because of spirits, or when they see strange things happen because of them. I can't blame them for wanting to stay away.
But it's not fair. It was kind of a lame thing to say, but it was true. It wasn't his fault that things like that followed him around. No wonder he seemed so lonely. Isn't there a way to make them leave?
It's not always easy to do something like that. Even if I force them to leave, without constant vigilance, they'll come back. Or be replaced by something worse. Sometimes, it's better to deal with things that are familiar than risk something unknown showing up. And they aren't all bad.
That was so depressing. I wanted to find something else to talk about, but I didn't know what. Oh. Sorry, it was loading. William just looked so sad, and it was kind of my fault for initiating such a depressing conversation.
I'm sorry for talking about something depressing.
He's definitely reading my thoughts, isn't he? I shifted uncomfortably. Assuming William actually had that ability, I didn't think he'd intentionally pry into my head, but the thought that I was just broadcasting my thoughts to the psychic public was equally distressing. I don't mind talking about it. It sounds like it must be hard for you, that's all. I wish I could help.
It's okay. A lot of them have been attached to me since I was a child. I guess I would feel lonely without them.
But it seems like it might be even lonelier with them, since they kept other people from getting close to him. So, some of them have been with you for years?
They are beings of habit. They won't leave easily once they find someone who can see them.
You said they can't come in here, though?
There's a barrier around the club that keeps them at bay, so they just wait outside for me to leave.
Like a spooky fan club. We were silent for a moment.
Are you alright? I heard you had a frightening experience this morning.
Oh, I'm fine. I mean, a little rattled, definitely, but I'm okay. Besides, encountering one creepy bridge thing that was probably nothing like what he dealt with on a daily basis.
But you're new to all this, so it has to be pretty scary. And finding out that you sit next to someone followed by ghosts.
This is a hard choice. That doesn't scare me at all, it's just dishonest, and I don't like him. It's a little scary, is very real, but I also feel like he's gonna curl back in on himself, so I'm kind of thinking it's not that bad as a nice middle ground of like, hey, I get it, like, it's definitely like a weird thing, but also I enjoy sitting next to you. That's my logic. Tell me what to do. You don't have it up in front of you?
No, I do, but the guide is really, like, not...
Confusing?
It is very confusing.
Okay, well, I'm gonna eat in the meantime.
Okay. I I'm trying here. Trying to make sure we don't die first time. Give me the correct choice, please. Okay.
Yes.
It's the bottom one.
It's the bottom one.
Yes.
That's so interesting.
It is a little scary.
It's a little scary. I feel like okay.
So sorry that took so
It's a
long.
little. What?
So sorry that took forever.
That's why. It's a little scary. To be honest, I don't really like spooky things. But I guess I have to start getting used to it if I'm going to be encountering creepy bridge dwellers going forward.
I don't think that will be a frequent occurrence.
I hope not. I don't know what that was, but I never want to see something with teeth that big ever again.
You do get used to it.
Seeing bridge dwellers with big teeth? He smiled slightly.
Seeing things that no one else can see.
I hope so. I think.
I've been this way my entire life, so it's different for me. But I've seen some of the others, how they adapt. I know you will too. I think you're a strong person.
I don't know about that.
People are always stronger than they think they are. Otherwise, you wouldn't insist on staying.
I gave him a weary smile. By the way, thank you for talking to me and answering my questions. This is all totally new to me. I feel like I'm on the brink of this huge chasm and I know absolutely nothing about what's on the other side. It's a bit disconcerting. It's a bit disconcerting.
Yes.
Yeah, nailed it. Sorry for latching on and demanding all kinds of answers about things.
You aren't demanding. You're trying to figure yourself out, so I don't mind answering. If there's anything else I can do to help, I mean, I don't know what else I really could do, but if anything comes to mind.
To be honest, I really just appreciate you talking to me and answering my questions. This morning was a little odd, to say the least. I appreciate having company. If I was alone, I'd probably just be sitting here freaking myself out.
You cut out after out.
Oh. If I was alone, I'd probably just be sitting here freaking myself out even more.
There we go.
He had a lot on his plate already, but was still offering to help me out. It was sweet. When I thought about it, everyone in the club had been pretty nice so far. Well, Mark accepted?
Well, Mark.
That says accepted.
Yeah. I don't know.
Always was, though.
What?
Oh my gosh.
It didn't hear you.
How much long?
Like literally.
Yeah,
didn't hear
it's not
anything.
picking me up. How much longer is this thing?
Almost done.
Okay, because I think we gotta stop after this because the
Yeah.
connection is not here tonight.
It really is not.
He'd been cranky. I got the feeling he always was, though.
Cranky boy.
Hey, could I get your number, maybe?
What?
Blush. Yes! He turned a little red and looked away. I mean, I don't know. Out of all the people from the club, I really only know Allie. It might be helpful to get to know some other people, too. I mean, if you don't mind.
I don't mind, really.
William pulled his phone from his coat pocket and handed it over.
You can put your details in.
As I did that, I gave him a sidelong look. It was the same coat he'd been wearing yesterday, one that seemed a bit too heavy for wearing indoors. Hey, I was noticing that you always wear your coat.
I get cold really easily.
I wondered if that I wondered if that also related to the spirits. I didn't know much about it, but I read or heard somewhere that the temperature would drop when there were spirits around. It was also really cold in the back of literature where he sat, but it wasn't cold in the library, and he said the spirits couldn't come here.
Madison?
He said my name so quietly that I almost didn't hear. I glanced up at him.
I know you're trying to be nice, but you don't have to do any of this. Sitting by me, talking to me, getting my phone number, you don't have to do it. And if you want to move to another seat, I'll understand.
The look on his face was heartbreaking. Was he really so used to people just walking away?
You try to guess what the correct answer is while I find the correct answer.
I'm not just trying to be nice. Because that covers everything. That is my opinion. And I'm sticking with it. Am I right?
Hold on.
Why do you sound like a chipmunk?
I don't know. Doobie-doobie-doo. You know, after this, I'm gonna take the time to go down every single route and write down...
And make a list,
So I don't have to, like, search. Alright, you
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not just being nice. I have selfish motivation, too. To be honest, I'm still completely freaked out about all this. Right now, Allie's really the only person I know on this side of things. I think it'll be good to get to know more people who have experience with this stuff.
There are other club members.
You're the only one I've really had the opportunity to sit next to, though. I may be a newbie, but you've been dealing with this your whole life. I'm sure you'll have some good advice to give.
Are you sure?
I am. He looked away again, fiddling with his scarf.
People always say that at first.
He's so quiet. He spoke so softly that even in the silent library, I didn't quite catch what he said.
Allie is probably back by now.
He looked at me worriedly, chewing his lower lip.
I feel bad I took up all your research time talking about myself.
It's okay. I was the one bombarding you with questions. Besides, it's better to learn from someone with experience than from a book, right? William gave me what I had already decided was a very, very rare smile.
I guess you're probably right about that.
I guess I should take my book back to Velos.
Velos.
Velos. I don't know how to say his name, so I always pause and I'm like,
I remember
Velos, yeah.
the YouTuber I watched gave him like a Transylvanian sounding accent, which was really funny to me. Or yeah.
That's funny.
I need to show you like all the voices they do. It's so crazy.
I know.
If you leave it here, it'll return to the shelf on its own.
Really? That's convenient.
Magic often is.
I wondered about the exact point of having a librarian if he didn't need to return or retrieve books from people. We left the book there and he walked me back to the club room, not that the door was far away. When we entered the club room, we found that Allie had just returned as well.
Hey, I was just about to come and get you. How'd your readings go?
It was okay. I think I probably have a lot of ground to cover.
Basically, yes. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with her, William.
I didn't mind.
Thanks. I'm glad we had the chance to talk. He gave me another smile as he left the club room. Allie sprawled on the sofa as if she was exhausted.
So we found your bridge creep.
I shuddered. What was it?
The way you said that, I shuddered.
I shuddered.
A Spriggan. I don't think it meant any harm, but it's been gently relocated to a less populated area.
You know, you said you're back to me. How did you know I was back? I mean, it was acting as if it knew me. It said, not you. My bad. Sorry, Allie, not you. We weren't talking about you. Allie shook her head and shrugged.
Wild Fae say a lot of strange things. I wouldn't put too much stock in anything it said, but...
But?
wild fae don't show themselves to just anyone. Even I can't see them if they want to hide. The fact that you could see it...
Good grief, Allie. It can't possibly get any weirder than it already is, so just say it.
I think you should start researching more deeply into the fae. The fact that you could see a Spriggan so easily could mean that that's where your heritage lies. The agency guys agreed.
Well, at this point, it's no weirder than finding out I'm a vampire, and I've secretly been sneaking out for years to eat my neighbors. Or finding out you're a witch.
Me.
That's you, not me. Oh, but I liked my quips.
How dare you? Or finding out that you're a
My
witch.
apologies. Or anything else magical, mystical, and or weird.
No doubt.
So what now?
Well, you can hide in the club room and read all day, but I also got permission to take you home early.
On what grounds?
On the grounds that you have a very, very bad migraine.
That isn't actually a lie. My head really does feel ready to explode.
It gets easier. I promise it does.
I hope so.
Want me to take you home?
Actually, yeah, that would be great.
By the way...
She stood and went to pick up something by the door. My bag!
We found it hanging at the bottom of the bridge.
I took it from her and checked inside. Everything seemed to be there. Maybe Brenna left it there after I, ran off screaming?
Well, at least we were able to recover it.
Allie led the way out of the hall while I fumbled around trying to text my idiot brother. Going home, bad headache, have permission. I doubted he'd respond. He never did. During the walk to the car, I did my best to look ill in case anyone spotted us. It wasn't completely an act. Now that the adrenaline was gone, I didn't have a weird conversation to distract me. I actually was feeling a bit woozy. Woozy's such a fun word.
Woozy. We're almost done, by the way.
Allie didn't
Almost
really
there.
know much about the Fae in general, so on the way home we mostly talked about the other club members. Well, she didn't go into all the details. Just the basics. Elliot and Mark were vampires? Mark's a vampire?
Yep, that's the one you got wrong.
I don't like that. No. Disagree. Elliot was infected a few years ago. Mark was born that way. Danny was a werewolf, also infected a few years ago. I could have told you those were both the infected ones. They lived together. Plot relevance right there.
No, just because somebody has pointy ears doesn't mean they're fairy.
Yeah, but vampires typically in most renditions don't have pointy ears.
Yeah, well, this isn't a typical rendition.
Okay, but if you wanted me to guess, I'm going off of like
I know, I
the
honestly
hundreds
didn't
of books
think-
I've read in
I didn't
fantastical
think he was a
stuff.
vampire at first either, but after dealing with
Yeah,
him and seeing
vampire
his
throws me a little.
personality, it made so much sense.
See, I can also see it as Fae from dealing with him right now, though, too.
That's true.
Maybe not... Yeah, like a certain brand of Fae. Yeah. Ewan was Fae.
Dullahan.
Dolian?
A Dullahan.
Dolian?
A Dullahan.
Dolem?
Yep.
Basically a headless rider, hence the head coming off. William was, of course, an Esper.
So, yeah, Dullahan. I really love the use
Dullahan.
of different types of fairies in this game.
No, I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Brenna was also some type of Fae. Velos, Ali, and Corbin were all in the wizard category. There were several other members too, some from pretty much every category. A lot of them never showed up or participated. And, like she said before, there were other staff members who were cryptic as well, including the school principal. It was just so weird. Wait, okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Why do we have 2 vampires?
Why not?
Because there's only one of everything else?
We have an infected vampire, and we have one who was born a vampire.
Is it like that different? Is that...
It's very different.
Is it like... Oh,
Like,
okay.
the powers, the way they...
Oh, okay, like they're like physically different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was thinking maybe one was a little stronger than the other. Because again, from all my reading stuff, that's typically how much
I'm
of
pretty
a
sure
difference it is.
Mark is stronger than Elliot by a long shot, but
Yeah,
Elliot's Elliot, so
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But Elliot's Elliot, so...
like, you know, I will. Fascinating tidbit because I can't keep this to myself.
Tibnet? Did you just say?
Tidbit.
Okay.
All vampires, pretty much, mostly all of them, can shift into something.
Oh, do they have like a preferred form?
No, it's just they have one thing they can shapeshift into, and it's random. Like one thing.
Oh, I really want Elliot's to be dumb. Actually, no, I want Mark's to be dumb. That'd be more entertaining. I want Mark's to be like a chair. You never said it had to be living.
I didn't. Oh boy. Okay.
Anyway, that's on my mind.
I'm gonna save here.
After Allie dropped me at home, I went straight to my room and crashed.
Okay. Actually, no. You know, it's fine. Whatever. Okay. We're gonna stop here. We've officially started building
That it?
the route. Yep. We're gonna stop here. Thank you guys so
Yay.
much for watching. Whereas, really, as much as I would love to keep going, Moon's internet is fading, and
It's very bad today, apparently.
It's very finicky. So we're gonna stop today. But we learned a lot. We finally learned what the boys are, what they are.
What the lads are.
Yeah, what the lads are. After Moon's guess, and honestly, the best guess she made was Corbin's. So that was funny.
He gave me nothing.
Yeah,
so I went off his personality.
Considering Corbin's personality, that's why I laughed so hard. Because honestly,
I nailed it. I nailed it with his personality. Let's be real, guys. I nailed that one.
Every time you said Mark was Faye, I was just sitting there like,
He should be. He should be.
He
should be. No, I stand by the statement that Mark should be Faye.
I like him as a vampire, personally.
I'm sure he's very interesting, but I still stand by my statement that he should be Faye.
And we learned Ewan is a Dullahan, a headless rider, which is really cool, in my opinion.
Is that? It feels Irish.
Yeah, it is.
I think it is Irish, so I'm about to look up. Dullahan.
Dullahan.
Faye.
So.
Yep, it's Irish.
Yeah, I really found that really cool. Elliot's a turned vampire. Danny's a turned werewolf.
I can't. Elliot really threw me. Saying the name Elliot, I didn't realize you were talking in the game.
We can just call him Mozzie every now and then if that helps, because that's his nickname.
No. Elliot's fine.
Okay.
Elliot is fine. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll get used to it eventually.
Okay. And
Not long.
yeah, and then we got William, who's an Esper. So yeah, which we are doing.
I was really surprised I actually kind of nailed his.
Yeah. Also,
I was like, ghosts or something.
yeah, William. Also,
It started out as a joke.
you conveniently picked the most depressing route in the game.
I conveniently picked the what?
The most depressing route in the game.
Oh, of course I did.
Of course you did.
Of course I did.
Get ready for tears and sadness.
Oh. I mean, if I had to take a guess, no, actually, I maybe would have said Ewan was the most depressing route. If I
Honestly,
just had to take a guess.
no offense to Ewan's, his route, though interesting, kind of disappointed me on some aspects of like.
You said that, yeah.
I wanted to know more in his route, but it just didn't cover a lot, and I was kind of like, there's not a lot of CGs for him either, which made me sad. I was like, even though he's the canon route, I was like, there's not a lot here. Honestly, Mark has more. That's probably why I liked him more, because he had more stuff going on. Maybe that's the reason.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I'm just into this one tsundere from this game. I have no clue.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah. Anyways,
Alright.
I shouldn't say no more. Goodbye, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Maybe
Bye.
very soon. Goodbye.